Good morning. I know it's been a while since I filmed a video again. I know I've been very slack and I'm very sorry, and I'm going to try and be better, but you'll find out in this video why I've been a bit quiet lately. So today I come to you fresh faced because I thought I would get ready with you, or you can get ready with me I should say, while you get to know me. So I've written myself a couple of questions just to keep myself on track because I am a rambler and I'm sure I'll add things to it anyway. But yeah, I just figured you guys don't really know me, so I thought I would sit down and let you get to know me. So I'll start by addressing new room, new space, new backdrop again. So I moved out of my share house in June into my boyfriend's house, like boyfriend's family home. And we've been living here ever since, but we are moving in less than a month now into our own space, which I'm very excited about. And it's such a beautiful home and we are so blessed to have our own home in our own space. Just thought I would address that to start off with. This is not at all my usual makeup setup, but the bathroom is one, really hot, and two, the lighting is terrible. So I'm sitting on my bed. I'm just gonna start with putting like a wax through my eyebrows. This one is called Lift and Lock. It's just one that my brow girl sells. It's not, I can say it's not my favorite. I just got this because I wasn't even sure if I'd like the waxed brow thing. And I have a mirror sitting down here in front of me, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So to start off the questions, you're probably all wondering, how old am I? I'm 24. I know I don't look it. Also, I know my eyebrows are completely like non-existent at the moment. They're well overdue to be dyed. But yes, I know I often get, when people guess, more like 19, 18 even sometimes at a stretch. At the most usually about 22, but I'll actually be 25 in December. My birthday is on Boxing Day, inconveniently. Everyone's always busy, everyone always has Christmas plans, or they're away, or the places that I want to go to for my birthday are more often than not closed. So can't recommend having a birthday on Boxing Day, but obviously that's the day my mother gave birth. Another question I know I will get asked, especially saying that I've moved in with my boyfriend. Yes, I do have a boyfriend. He and I are about the same age. He's only just over a month older than me. His birthday's in November, same year, 98. We have a bit of a different love story, if you will, relationship story, timeline. So I've known him for a couple of years, but we just never really connected until much later, like under very different circumstances. And it just so happened that neither of us had the balls to reach out to each other, which is ridiculous. And yeah, we just kind of started hanging out as friends, and I think I realized much sooner than him that it was definitely more than a friendship. It was just something about him that I was really drawn to. We were both had really, well have, I should say, not had, have really like similar like life goals. Definitely want to find new brow products because I've been doing the same thing with my eyebrows for literally years and it's just not working for me anymore. I've been using the Dip Brow pomade. God, it's embarrassing for how long. Yeah, since I was, I want to say like in my teens, like late teens, 19. So I think it's time to switch it up because you can probably tell it doesn't love sticking over the like brow wax. So if you have a suggestion, feel free to leave it below. Wow, they are not even. Oh my god, my feet are going numb. Okay. Yeah, cool. Don't sit on my feet. Noted. Okay, 2 eyebrows on. They're definitely not perfect by any means, but they're on, and there's 2 of them. Like, they're really not that even, but that's what they're looking like today. now that I actually have 2 eyebrows on and I can talk and not hold my mirror in front of my face, what do I do for work? I am currently doing casual work. I'm a food service assistant in aged care. So I don't love it, but it's a job and it's easier to work around my study at the moment, which is another question. So I'm currently in TAFE and I'm doing what they call, hello? Okay, we're running out of this obviously. Currently doing what they call adult tertiary preparation, which is basically just like a fancy way of saying senior school at TAFE. If you're not in Australia, it probably won't make any sense to you, but I basically didn't finish grade 11 and 12, which I'll get to in a minute, because it's not just like didn't feel like it. It's like was really unwell. Yeah, didn't finish grade 11 and 12. I kind of thought last year, before I started doing food service, and I was kind of like self-employed, if you will. It's hard to explain, but yeah, it was just like not super safe environments and really wanted to get out of that industry. Kind of decided I think I want to go to uni. So figured, why not? I'll go to uni. What am I going to do with my life? Had that crisis of what am I going to do with my life? What am I doing with my life? Sorry, I keep looking at the viewfinder again. I've never really never really known what I wanted to do with my life. So yeah, I kind of had a panic and just thought, yeah, I'll go to uni and I'll do psychology, because that's always been something that I've been really drawn to. I haven't really ever had an interest in studying. If you asked me in high school, what do you want to do with your life? My answer more often than not was actually to be a mum. That's the only thing I've ever known was like complete non-negotiable in my life. I have never really felt, I still don't feel like I'm meant for like a normal job per se. Like I've never seen myself sitting in an office. When I did have an office job working in admin, I was so bored. My mental health was terrible. I mean, I did work for not so nice people, but we're not going to go down that road. And yeah, I felt like I wasn't valued at the company and blah blah blah. So I really didn't like that. I didn't see myself working up like a, I keep holding the mirror in front of my camera, I'm so sorry. I didn't really see myself, or still don't see myself working up like a job ladder in a workplace kind of thing. Like it's just, I don't know, I just feel like I'm not destined for that kind of life, if you will. Like I've never really fit into like societal norms. To explain what I'm doing at TAFE better, I basically, yeah, thought I was going to do uni, don't have a rank, need a rank to get into uni. Well, needed like English prerequisites to get into the uni courses that I was looking at. A little bit more of this. I swear I either use not enough or way too much of this stuff. This is also, if you're wondering, the Maybelline Superstay Skin tint. Probably can't even see that. So had my crisis, enrolled myself in TAFE, do that part-time 2 days a week. It's a 12-month course, and I got halfway through, got to the middle of the year and kind of went, oh my god, what am I doing? How is me, someone who struggles with mental health, going to help several other people with their mental health when I can barely hold mine up for 6 months of the year? So long story short, I'm still studying because I still want to finish the course. I still want to say that I got a rank and like completed high school kind of thing. Just because that's something I'm kind of disappointed in myself for never completing. So if you're watching this and considering dropping out of high school and you have the ability to stay in it, just finish it. Just finish it. I was halfway through grade 12 and I dropped out, and it was silly. And I mean, at the time I was like really not in a good place, but I also like didn't really try to stay, if you know what I'm saying. Like I kind of just threw the towel in, and I wish I didn't. I have no longer any interest in going to uni to do psychology. It's still something that interests me, but I think it's more of like a personal level. I don't see myself having the capacity to be in that profession every day. As much as I'd love to help other people with their mental health and like share my knowledge of what I've learned after what I've been through, I still want to share it, but not like that, if that makes sense. On the topic of mental health, I might as well kind of go down that path while I'm on it. I have struggled with mental health significantly through my life, like severely. Mum took me to the doctor when I was like 12 and said, I don't know what to do. And mental illness, I should say, not health, runs in our family. And she basically took me to the doctor and said, I don't know what to do, like she's 12 and she's already depressed. And he said, just give her some more milk. So continue to struggle with mental health. Mum also struggles with mental health as well. Bless her, she literally did everything she possibly could to help me with mine, and she still does. She's such an angel. When I was about 15, I got put into like private, what do you call that? Like therapy, what are they called? Psychologist, psychiatrist. I was seeing both. And yeah, that took me down the path of a hospital admission, and that hospital admission turned into 3, and hospital admissions turned into an eating disorder, and I actually had anorexia nervosa, which a lot of people now look at me and go, oh, but you're so healthy. Yeah, because I've recovered physically, but I will say mental illness, I can't speak. Even though I've recovered physically, and I'll say I've recovered mentally, an eating disorder is something for me personally anyway, and I know a lot of other sufferers, or yeah, people who have had a form of eating disorder always say it never goes away, you just learn how to cope with it. And I know for me that is so true. Like I still now, and that was what, I was 16, nearly 10 years ago, or maybe I was 17. Anyway, somewhere between 8 and 10 years ago. I still struggle with it now. Like I still some days think about what I'm eating. I still some days struggle to eat. I still some days feel guilty for eating a particular food or having a particular meal. Like I just have to, well, I've learned how to fight that voice, and I know that food is fuel. Bless the student nurse who was actually in my mental health ward on placement, and she changed my life with a sentence when she said to me, like, if you want to drive your car, you've got to put fuel in it, right? I was like, yeah, obviously. She said, well, if you want your body to run, you've got to put fuel in it, right? I was like, yeah. She's like, well, you don't want to feel like this all the time anymore, do you? I was like, well, no. And that whole concept of like, you've got to put fuel in your car to make it run. Like, how are you going to run through life if you don't put the fuel in? It was just like this light bulb. And I wish I could remember her name, but bless her soul. And I thank her deeply and dearly for giving me that life concept, because when my brain was not functioning at like full capacity because I wasn't feeding it, that concept was just mind-blowing. So thank her for that. I feel like I've been doing my skin forever, and I kind of have, but like I said, I'm a rambler, and I knew I was gonna go down a path of rambling, but I feel like this stuff is like important, and this is part of what I mean when I say like I want to share what I've learned about, you know, mental health and healing, but I don't want to do it in the capacity of being like a therapist, but I still want to share my knowledge with people, because I know that I have helped people like personally in my personal life, and I know I'm often being the people who come to me being like, hey Neve, my mental health is trash, like please help me with it. So it's nice to be able to share like what has helped me and my knowledge. If it's going to help someone else, like I will share it every day of the week. So yeah, that was a really long path for me recovering from my eating disorder. It took me a solid 5 years to recover, like fully physically. I'm not going to talk about weight or what I ate or whatever, because that's just triggering and it's just not necessary. It's a long struggle, it's a long battle, and it took me a solid 5 years to recover from it and get back to like a means of normal. Because like I didn't crave food. Even now sometimes people are like, what do you want to eat? I'm like, how do I tell you that like I still don't crave food? Odd concept to most people. That kind of leads me on to a kind of note I made for myself as to like why did I start YouTube? Why do I want to do YouTube? I've kind of touched on a few things. I'm using you as my mirror. Touched on a couple of reasons. One is obviously like share my struggles with my mental health, because I know that YouTube has immensely helped me over the years, like with my mental health, and feeling like I wasn't alone, and feeling like someone else used the platform to like share their struggles and share what they learned about their mental health and their self, and you know, their recovery and all kinds of stuff. So that's one big reason. The other reason, which I kind of said, is I would love to branch off and do this kind of stuff for like an income, for like a career, if you will. Because yeah, this is what makes me happy. I always feel really proud when I put out a video that like I feel really proud of and I feel really happy with. And just saying that, the amount of views and followers I've gotten, even though I've been like barely active on my channel, has been amazing. And it always is like a, oh no, I'm doing okay. Like maybe I'm not as bad at this as I thought, when I look at the like following going up and the views going up without me even being that present. Which kind of, wow, this is working well as a way of, everything's kind of leading me on to my next topic. Woohoo, I'm on track for once in my life. Which if you know me, you know I'm not good at that stuff. The reason I've kind of been absent is actually because I'm 25 weeks pregnant. And that feels so weird to say. I have filmed a vlog of mum and I going pram shopping for the first time. I think I was like maybe 16 weeks pregnant. So that's kind of like buried in a file on my laptop somewhere. But I will post that eventually, and I kind of want to post the like gender reveal video as well, because my partner and I did our own, where we cut the cake and it was like the inside of the cake was either pink or blue. It was blue. We're having a boy. The reason we did that and didn't like we did do a family one, we did do like a pop the balloon, blue confetti everywhere kind of thing, which was really sweet. Rude. Okay, obviously my camera didn't like how long I'd been recording for and it just stopped. The family reaction was great. The reason my partner and I did like our own first, two reasons. One, we wanted to do something that was kind of like intimate and for us, and like a moment for us to process everything, like just the two of us. I'm a crier and I did cry. I knew I was gonna cry. But also because when we did our 13-week scan, which is a little bit like sad, but when we did our 13-week scan, the sonographer said to us, do you want to know the gender? And we were like, oh, like kind of, but no, like we kind of want to keep it a surprise until later, like until the 20-week scan when you can know for sure. Yeah, okay, cool, like I'll turn off the TV, blah, blah, blah. Was like, oh, there's the gender. And we're like, oh God, okay, like they say you can't always know at 13 weeks, but like that seemed pretty obvious. And she said, you know, she's pretty accurate with, you know, her experience of knowing. So we're like, oh, okay, damn, like it must be pretty obvious. And then 5 minutes later, she turns back on the TV and he's like wiggling around and she goes, oh, he's a cheeky one. We just kind of looked at each other and we're like, thanks. Like we didn't say anything to her because I was like, I don't want to be an asshole, but at the same time, like it was kind of sad that that surprise got kind of like ruined for us. And I know it's only a 50-50 chance, but yeah, it just kind of it ruined it. And that's why if you see the video, my partner doesn't look like surprised or oh my god, because he literally says afterwards, which I don't include in the video, I knew. Because we did know, like, it was ruined for us, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering, I'll write a list of everything that I've used if you would like to know in the description. I've had this for so long, it's kind of gross. It's the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil in light medium. So yeah, that's why I've been absent online. If you know me personally and you're watching this, or you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen I posted it on there. I don't know if it'll be last week when you're watching it, but about a week ago. It feels really nice to like finally feel like we can share it and like I can just be open about it and I don't have to hide it anymore. I mean, I never had to hide it, but we just kind of, we kept it really personal between us and like our family and our really close circle of friends for months, just because like obviously it's my first pregnancy, it's our first baby, and yeah, we just didn't feel the need to like make it this big public thing. Like we really wanted to just have it for us, if that makes sense. We've actually already started buying things for Bobby, and we've been very blessed that we've had a lot donated to us already. Like one of the women I work with, she donated like 2 huge boxes of onesies and singlets and jumpers and cardigans and all kinds of stuff, and I went shopping with my mum and I bought some of the cutest things from like Target. Where did we go? Target, Big W and Best and Less. If you're in Australia, I don't think you have Best and Less anywhere else, but if you're in Australia, Best and Less has the cutest baby stuff and it's way cheaper than anywhere else. I can definitely do a video showing you what I bought. I kind of do want to do that. I want to talk a lot more about pregnancy as well on my channel, because I find that there's just so much about pregnancy that people don't really talk about. And I was like, oh my god, is this just me? But then I spoke to some of my friends and they're like, oh my god, yeah, I remember that about pregnancy and like totally forgot about it. So there's definitely a couple of videos coming. 1, Bobby's clothes, cute finds at the moment. 2 is definitely like my experience in my first trimester. God, I'm nearly in the 3rd, but first trimester mainly, and then I'll touch on the 2nd. And also clothes for me, because, or you if you're pregnant as well, because that's really been hard. I'm only 5'1", and most maternity clothes, like dresses, a short maternity dress is like knee length, but it's going to be like mid shin on me. So I've really struggled to find maternity clothes that I like, because I'm gonna kind of shit on maternity clothes here for a sec, but I find a lot of them are made for like, oh my god, don't take offense, someone's gonna be mad, middle-aged conservative women. I'm just putting it out there. And all the like cute maternity fashion is for winter. Like, I'm so sorry, I'm going to be in the peak of my pregnancy in summer in Australia looking at like 30-degree days. There is no over the bump long cute flared legging pant. No, it is not happening. Even like this dress is like below the knee and this is pretty much all I can wear. But I'm sick of only being able to wear like long stretchy dresses. So again, if you have any suggestions for maternity clothes, would love to see them, would love to hear it. Please leave it below for myself and everyone involved. I have written on my little notepad as well, just like childhood as an overarching theme, topic, however you want to say it. I am not an only child. Most people think I am, but it's because my siblings are much older than me. I'm the baby by far. The next youngest is, that's bad, I don't know their exact ages, like mid-30s, and the oldest is like in their 50s. So big gap. Separated parents, both still in my life, just at different capacities. They've both done the best that they can possibly do for their level of consciousness, and take that for everyone in your life. But yeah, I know I'm not gonna say I had like the most privileged upbringing, but I also didn't have the worst. Like, I wasn't hard done by, but I also had a step parent who was in my life for most of my life, and I have no idea if this person's going to see this or not, or his family members. I can't even say this in a nice way. He was a narcissist. I didn't realize I grew up with a narcissistic parent until like a year ago. I have had my fair share of narcissists in my life, I'll say that. When you have a narcissist in your life, you tend to choose to have more narcissists in your life because it's comfortable, and yeah, not good, not good. Can't recommend it. That's off topic. My childhood, I don't want to say it was typical, but it wasn't typical, but it wasn't not typical. But like, my parents weren't together, but like, I was also very independent. My life pretty much revolved around dancing. I was obsessed with dancing since I was like 5. I think mom signed me up for my first dance class when I was 4 or 5, and I just like didn't stop. What stopped me actually is my eating disorder. I went from cheerleading to dancing, and I stopped at about 15 because I was just too weak, and my mental health was in such a bad place that like I didn't even want to go. So yeah, stopped doing all of that extracurricular activity. I don't know if it had a contribution to my eating disorder. I feel like it did, but I feel like it definitely wasn't the main contributing factor as to what caused that. But yeah, it did bring me a lot of joy, and I do still kind of miss it at times at this age. But that, yeah, that was like my whole existence, my whole being. Everyone knew that I was the little girl with long blonde hair who danced. I was the dancer. That was like my identity through my childhood. Touching on childhood, my school experience, which I kind of spoke about a little bit in the beginning, but I didn't have the greatest experience with school. I really didn't like school. I don't know what it was about. I don't know if it was the schools or just the age group or whatever it was, but everyone was quite nasty. High school, yeah, my high school grade was not nice. Sorry if you were in my grade in high school and are watching this. Most of you weren't nice. Most of you didn't even know that I dropped out. You're attentive. Really just attacked you all there. There's like one distinct moment in my mind where we had to do a speech about like a social topic. Of course, I chose mental health. At the end of my speech, I said, if you're struggling, like, here's a helpline, because you had to do like PowerPoint thing. And one of the boys, when I sat down at my desk, literally was like, oh no, I'm struggling, can you give me the number? Someone saying that to me, I was like, wow, society is great. So I kind of like lost all faith in humanity and people and kindness at that age in my life. So then I began giving everyone else my kindness, and most people took advantage of it. So yeah, that's me, that's my life. That's a very, very honest overview of me and my life so far. But sorry if it was like a little bit depressing as well. You probably gathered, I'm a very honest, very forward, very open person. So if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will either answer you in the comments or in a later video. I think I'm done for the day. This is makeup good for me. I'm probably going to put on some lip balm and call it a day. So thank you for watching. Thanks for listening to my ramble. If you've even made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you, and I hope you have the best day. Bye.